everybody. Welcome to Sports Bitches. New episode, and the gang is all here. My name is Rachel Vanetta, joined by two of my best buds, Sarah, Tiana, Megan, Gailey. Oh my goodness, welcome back, everybody. We are in the thick of it. We got to go to Indy this weekend and give our girl Meg a squeeze. And we just wanted to thank everybody for sending all of your sweet messages. Meg saw them. She appreciates them. We love you, Meg. And honestly, this weekend was such a beautiful celebration of life with your dad, but also, I got to highlight the sorority gals. We got to meet all of Megan's sorority girlfriends from college, and holy shit. We're going to New Orleans for Meg's 40th, and it's time to buckle up. Yeah. I'm starting to prepare now. Wow, Meg. Yeah. What a group of friends.
I will have more to say about, the beauty that was this past weekend. Honestly, very sporty.
Very sporty.
My dad's celebration of life, for those of you that don't know, my dad passed away, was at the Colts practice facility. It was at the Farm Bureau Insurance Indiana Football Center. Really nothing more sports, bitch. But then, there was an after party. Because we are Irish, and the after party was from 5 to 7. I believe our group ended up leaving around 10 p.m. So you're talking about 5 hours into the after party, and not us, none of our bitches, but there were some members of the late night after party who did get the entire funeral after party cut off from a bar.
Yeah. Yeah, and we had no idea that we were sort of like sitting off to the side, but then when we were made aware, it became very apparent who the culprits were. Yeah. They would walk through the door and we would be like, that one.
Yeah, Rachel.
That one, take him down.
Sweet Rachel, the establishment, who is lovely and was wonderful to have us and did great things, came over and was like, can we talk to you for a second? And then Rachel, who was like the most sober of everyone there, was like, how about I come with you? I was like, man, that's a good idea. And then we went inside and we were greeted by 3 people saying, our bartenders no longer want to serve some of the members of the funeral. And we were mad. We were mad. And then when we saw it, we go, nope, they're right. They're correct.
Yeah. It was a real eye-opening moment for me because, Megan is usually the one that goes to speak with a manager. And for the manager to come and speak to Megan.
Seek me out.
Seek her out.
And
was a real
And it was one of those things where I knew immediately we're in trouble. Because she was like, can you come inside? And I go, is everything okay? And she was like, I think you should just come inside. And she
Whenever
goes,
a woman says we need to talk.
Yeah. And then when there's 2 men with her, it's like, uh-oh. And we were like, our table is like the best of the best. We are the goody two shoes. We are doing nothing. And then it was pointed out as Rachel was driving Sarah and I back to my parents' house that one of my friends had a cocktail glass from the establishment. It's just standing in front. And we said, look at this Karen Reed in Indianapolis with her gin and tonic out here.
I have thought about her every single moment of every day since I left. I am obsessed with her. Is she coming to New Orleans?
She wasn't on the initial invite, but now that was the first. Her and her co-pilot had heard of it, and now they're like, oh, we're going. Why weren't we invited?
Okay, good. And you know what? That's the way the world should be. But yeah, wow, what a time. And what a celebration for your dad. Everyone kept on saying that, like, this is exactly what he would have wanted. So that was really, really beautiful. Your family rules. Okay, another update, another less serious update. We have not talked about this since we have recorded the pod. Somebody has been taking dumps in the shower at my gym, and it is still happening. They have not been able to figure out who it is. And let me tell you, this is a luxury space, people, okay? It's not a Planet Fitness. If it was a Planet Fitness, I'd be like, yeah, okay, it's a Planet Fitness. This stuff happens. Somebody's been squishing their pooping in the shower and squishing it down the drain.
Multiple times, because I could imagine, too, so, like, I'm of the three of us, I am the one who poops my pants the most. That sometimes you have a oopsie. I've never pooped in the shower because usually a shower, like as plumbing it goes, is right next to a toilet. So it's like you can hop right on out of there. This is multiple.
It's a repeat offender.
Wow.
It's a repeat offender. Yeah. When I first heard about it, it was 3. There was 3 instances, but now it's continued to happen. And I will not name the gym because I don't want to get kicked out.
Any chance we've got a copycat? You know, someone saw that and goes, "You can poop in the shower? What the heck?"
I mean, if there was ever a time to poop in the shower, if you secretly have been wanting to poop in the shower, now is the time to do it. But wow.
In their defense, there is nothing worse than taking a shower and then you have to poop, because then you're like, the best time to poop is right before.
Yeah.
You're
so
not
that
wrong.
you can properly wash your body. But then if you're in there and you're like, well, I don't want to get out and then get back in.
I know.
It's me. I don't go to the
Is Sarah the pooper?
I have long believed that what you just described should be a line in Alanis Morissette's Ironic. Like, it's like, go and poop after taking a shower, you know, because it is. It's like, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at everyone sideways now. No, it is in the women's bathroom. It's in the women's shower. So it is, it's one of us. It's one of us. No.
I'm blaming.
Been getting freaky.
Can we blame the men?
So
still?
I will keep you guys updated. I know that the bitches are really gonna want to hear the updates on this, and I will provide if I hear anything. I've got some, I've got my flyers out, my feelers out. Meg, you've got some dates coming up with Chelsea before we hop into this podcast. Do we know what those are? Can we share with the people?
I can
go first. I'm going to be in St. Louis at Flyover Festival November 13th to 16th, and there's a lot of really fun comedians, and I'm going to be one of them. So if you live in St. Louis or anywhere close, come on by. Come on down.
It looks really fun. The weekend that you're doing that, I'm actually going to be in French Lick, Indiana, birthplace of Larry Bird, to go to the Polar Express. That's not a call to action. That's just letting you guys know where I'm going to be. This Friday, gosh, as I'm about to list off these dates, I'm like, I'm really not well. Postpartum grieving, hitting the road. This Friday, I am doing Napa with Miss Chelsea Handler. And then at the end of October 24th and 25th, I am headlining a female comedy festival in Oak Park, Illinois. I don't know if you've ever heard anything cooler than that. And then my dates with Chelsea really kick off in February. So you got plenty of time. I'll be doing Madison, Wisconsin, February 19th, February 20th, Milwaukee, February 21st, Detroit, great sports cities.
Oh my gosh.
And then as the year goes on, I will be in Chicago, Indy, Louisville, Denver, and Vegas with her.
Okay, so she's booked and blessed. She's booked and busy. Sarah, are we allowed to talk about what you're up to? Okay,
Sure.
Tell the people.
I am at work right now because I am the new head writer of The Masked Singer.
Whoa.
We're on the Fox lot, and we have this huge building that we're all in because this is a very big production. There are a lot of moving parts and elements, and the secrecy of this show is very high, so obviously I can't tell you anything. But they do have old costumes in here. And so, like, Busta Rhymes is outside of the executive producer's office. It's like his old, and then there's just like some sort of fancy cat downstairs. So it's been very fun to see. But just like the costumes on this show are really just next level.
Let's talk a little football, shall we? Bad Bunny is going to be the performer of the Super Bowl halftime show. I like Bad Bunny fine. I like him fine. I think he's got some hits. Does he have the discography of one Miley Cyrus or Taylor Swift, which is sort of like the vibe that we thought the NFL was going for? I think it's going to be great. But will it be blow our minds? I don't know. What do you guys think? What did you think about the announcement?
So I was initially disappointed because I wanted Miley, because then I wanted Miley to bring out her godmother, Dolly Parton, and her spiritual godmother, Cher. I wanted a three-headed diva. And so I was like, oh, okay, and it was like a man last year. So I do like when they go, guy, girl, guy, girl, guy, girl. But then when I saw how upset it made certain demographics of people, I was like, I'm the biggest Bad Bunny fan of all time. And I do align with like his politics and what he's been doing and like how he carries himself as a performer in this really fucked up time. The fact that he has taken all of his U.S. Dates off the calendar, has been doing this like residency in Puerto Rico that has done so much for the economy, and a place that America has really turned its back on, despite it being part of America. And so now I'm all in on Bad Bunny, and I cannot wait.
Only thing I've ever seen Bad Bunny in was Happy Gilmore 2. So I do not know anything about his discography, but I know that he is the number 2 most streamed singer on Spotify. So I can only imagine that his stuff slaps, and I'm excited to see how he does in San Francisco. I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be awesome. I do agree. It's going to be great. And the more that I think about it, I will say there are several TikToks that I've seen of his performances. I don't think he wears underwear. And wow.
We might fit into the NFL very well then.
So you're going to have a sweaty butt
on that stage.
Yeah, I guess I saw people being upset from like a sexual standpoint too. And it's like, oh, that's always refreshing if we're like mad at men for being overtly too sexual, because that's usually something that's only reserved for female performers. I think Bad Bunny is hosting and the musical guest on SNL this weekend. So that's a good chance to see him. I really like when he goes, Bad Bunny. I like that. And yeah, he's hot. And there's a lot of people saying they're boycotting. They're not going to watch the Super Bowl.
Good. Bye.
And I've seen a lot of really smart people go, and you know what? The NFL took that into account and said, okay.
Yeah,
thanks.
I will say kudos to the NFL the last 2 years in a row.
Yes.
Kendrick Lamar, who is very outspoken and is going to tell you exactly how he feels. And now Bad Bunny, in a time where, we're just, this country just feels so fucking broken and so far away from what it should be with all of the ICE deportations. That is the reason why he stopped performing in the United States, is because he was afraid that ICE was going to start camping outside in the parking lot of his concerts and start detaining people. And so I know he's going to have something to say during the halftime performance, and kudos to the NFL for giving him that stage and giving him that platform, right?
Honestly,
I'm
shocking.
actually really surprised.
Shocking.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Do you think Trump goes to the Super Bowl again?
No.
He was there last year. No?
No. San Francisco? I mean, yeah, because I think those, like, he's got a few cities that he really likes to shit on. San Francisco's up there. And now you've got Bad Bunny performing, and I think I bet he'll be like, it's not even safe to go to San Francisco, and I'm flying there in 2 days, and I can't fucking wait.
Do you think that Harry Connick Jr. will also perform?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, what kind of
money
hot takes
on
can we fucking... Oh my
But like, who
God.
could be a special guest in San Francisco? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he also has collabs of people that he's going to pull out that will be really, really fun. Do you think that his ex Kendall Jenner is going to walk down?
They dated? I didn't know they dated. Now talk about a discography. Wow.
Famously, because back, I think his English has improved so much. But a couple of years ago, his English was like very, very broken. And he even went on the Tonight Show and had to have a translator. And so the whole thing with their relationship, a lot of people talked about them not being able to communicate. But he would just call her mommy. And she apparently really liked that. And
yeah.
Just,
Yeah. That's all you need. Now, I saw...
What kind of deep conversations do you want to have with Kendall Jenner anyway?
What kind of deep conversations do you want to have with Bad Bunny? I'd be totally fine with just gyrating.
I was seeing reports that Taylor was offered it and turned it down. Now, I don't know
Oh,
if
I'm sure she's offered it every
yeah,
year,
do you think she
Yeah.
saw the
right?
Chiefs record and she was like, nah, they're not going to be there. So I think I'm
I really
good.
don't think that Taylor is going to even consider performing at the Super Bowl until Travis is retired. Yeah.
CJ was reading me a tweet from like a very angry conservative, and I was like, laughing and laughing. And then the man was so angry that the performer wasn't Shania Twain. And I was like, you know what? Now I am too.
I get that.
I love
like
In
Shania.
San
I would have loved
Francisco,
Shania.
she's Canadian.
But he
How
was
does that
like,
even make any
that's
sense?
what the guy was mad about. Shania Twain.
I mean, yeah, that would have ripped.
That would have
been
been
incredible. It's
Man, I feel like a
makes
woman.
sense.
Like, we would have been thrilled, sir, but you don't get everything you want.
Next time Shania goes to Vegas, we gotta go.
I've seen
We have
Shania.
to.
My dad and I went to Shania,
I've
and she
never-
was amazing.
I'm sure.
From
She's got an interesting look now. She's always popping up with like blue hair.
There's-
I'm like, what the fuck?
She's lobbying to get on The Masked Singer.
Oh
She's
my
often a
God.
guess. A lot of times people guess that it's her. But I'm like,
That's really funny.
Okay, so we've settled. We're excited for Bad Bunny. We're excited for him.
yeah.
But justice for Miley, maybe Miley next year. Do
Yeah.
you know what the Super Bowl is going to be next year?
I'll look.
Yeah, it's back in LA, I think. I think it's
Oh,
back in LA next year.
that's
2027.
actually psychotic. That's psychotic
right?
to have the Super
Yep,
Bowl and
SoFi.
then the World Cup,
And then the
coming,
Olympics.
and the Olympics. Like, what are we doing,
Oh, and you know what?
Karen?
2027, it's on Valentine's Day. So maybe a Taylor Travis collab.
Okay, I love that. I do love that. I don't think
fun.
I don't think Taylor will do it until it's in like Nashville or like a southern. I'd love a Super Bowl in Nashville. Okay, another thing that we really wanted to talk about that's the talk of the town right now is the Ryder Cup. This was absolutely a shit show. I will say I was texting these girls about the Ryder Cup when I was seeing clips of Rory McIlroy just flipping off the crowd and being like, F you, F you, F you. And I was like, this looks fun as hell. But then the more that I read about it, I was just like, oh, this is a little bit dark. So if you guys didn't pay attention, the Ryder Cup happened this past weekend in Long Island. That should have been your first red flag. The MC was female comedian Heather McMahon. Heather McMahon? Is that how you say her last name?
Really?
Who led chants of "fuck you, Rory." So things just got out of hand. It was Europe versus USA, and the crowd was rowdy. They were throwing things. They were tossing around homophobic slurs. It was just bad. Europe did win, and they did record a video of all of them together singing, "Are you watching Donald Trump? Are you watching Donald Trump?" So that was a plus. The Ryder Cup is going to take place in 2027 back in Ireland. But everyone across the board has kind of said, like, this was way too out of hand, way too crazy. This is like a perfect display of like where American masculinity, toxic masculinity stands right now. So wanted to ask you gals what your thoughts are. I think for me, a teeny tiny bit of it I really liked because I feel like it's got us watching golf, it's got us talking about golf, but obviously it went way over the handlebars into insane territory. What do you guys think?
I will say that I did see someone scream at Rory when he was buttoning up his shirt. They were like, "You don't need a button to choke, Rory." And then like everybody really laughed at that, including Rory. But that was the last time I really saw them laughing. I will just say that what I don't really like is when golfers come out and they go, like, this is golf. Like, this is a precious game. Like, we act differently. Like, we're supposed to be respectful and quiet. And, it's like they treat golf and tennis like it's the elitist games that they are, and I don't think that's fair. I think it's like, I don't think people should be shouting the F word at any athlete, not just golfers. Like,
As the golfer and tennis player of the pod.
Here we go.
And this happened at the US Open a few weeks ago when Gosh, I forget. Somebody like incited just them, all of the stadium like screaming and booing. And Sarah, you're right. That has no place anywhere. I think to some extent, what golfers are trying to say is you're right next to us. And I think this argument can be made for basketball too. It's also a matter of safety. And you saw Rory's wife have something thrown at her. Now, that is like considered a form of assault. You cannot be throwing things at each other. And when you have this mob mentality, especially amongst men, because I have been to concerts where it was predominantly women and been to the bars afterwards and been like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And the bartenders being like, this is the best tipped we've ever been in our entire lives. So, like, when a large group of women get together, there's usually not a safety concern. When a large group of men get together and then you add in alcohol and you add in them trying to like one up each other with weird testosterone shit, it gets out of hand. Now, Rory McIlroy is a Catholic from Northern Ireland. And if that doesn't like tell, like, this motherfucker is bad ass. He is not afraid of shit. There is no city in America that he would not walk down the street in and be like, this is fucking great. He is a good egg. And for him to be like, this was trash, it was trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
That's
only thing
very
that
true.
Rory is afraid of is paying alimony to his wife, right?
Yes!
Because didn't he like try to divorce her and then he was like, actually, never mind.
Absolutely not.
And like,
Yeah, I mean-
yes, wait, do it at Waste Management. Great. That's the place where people go and get fucked up. There are venues for this. I mean, I think it's interesting that both of these situations that I think have gotten out of hand are both like New York people. So it's not even, you can't even be like, oh, it was like in the South or it was in the Midwest or it was a bunch of like no, it's bad. Like, you guys, you can't just go anywhere and act however the fuck you want. You're not going to go into the Vatican with your titties out. There are certain rules. Just all we're saying is, if you want to be a crazy person, go to a Jets game. You can piss all over yourself there.
Yeah,
Also,
I think
whoever
it's-
planned this and made it in Long Island, what the fuck did you think?
I mean,
Well,
they got
Page-
golf courses there.
Bethpage is one of the best golf courses in the country, so it is, like a really incredible venue, apparently. But I think it's also just like we live in these times where people are saying horrific things to each other on social media, and you don't understand the consequences of your words to other people until it really happens to you. And so there's just this level of inhumanity that's out there. And I think it just kind of speaks to the world that we're in. And I wouldn't even just say it's America. I think it's across the board, all over the world, where it's just like people are saying horrific things to each other.
Yeah.
And we all just need to like touch some grass.
We're definitely desensitized.
Yeah.
I went to the Belmont Stakes. That's the horse race that like happens in New York. And this was, I don't know, probably 12 years ago. So a long time ago, pre, a lot of the current awfulness. And it was probably my least favorite sporting event I've ever been to. Just because of, and they're yelling at horses, like they're yelling at animals, but like the group, it was like young finance guys who were just like, I'm wasted, I can do whatever the fuck I want, and we're just screaming horrific things at animals. And I was like, this is gross, and I never want to go to like a large scale horse race ever again if this is what it's like. And that really feels like that's a certain like type of person.
Mm-hmm.
I hate horse racing from top to bottom. I think it's disgusting, and I would never go to one of those things. It's just, I am the PETA gal of the group, as we all know. Okay, let's move on. Golf fun, boys bad. Let's talk about the Tyreek Hill injury. Speaking of bad boy, his leg snapped off, essentially. He had a dislocated kneecap. I wanted to ask you guys, when stuff like this happens, can you watch?
No.
Well, we just talked about being desensitized. I cannot handle it.
No.
I don't even describe it to me.
Absolutely not. Oh, don't describe it to you? No. I can have it.
Zach said his
described
leg
to
was
me.
going. His leg was going the other way. I said,
No.
It's weird because it's like I could watch The Pit all day long, and then
Oh.
but then like when something happens in sports, I'm like, no.
yeah.
I have to look away. CJ's always like, no, this one's not that bad. And then I see it and it's the worst thing I've ever seen. And I think about getting a divorce. Now, what I did see though was him being carted off, clapping and cheering and so excited, which is
Well,
a
have you
new
ever-
twist.
Have you ever dislocated something before? Oh wait, CJ was or
No, Tyreek
he
Hill.
was.
Tyreek Hill was like clapping and cheering and so happy. And
To not have
everyone's
to play
saying,
for the Dolphins.
yes, everyone is saying that it was him being like, oh, I'm done for the season and I'm still going to make, $50 million. But then he said it was because they were winning.
I think he's delusional. Have you guys ever dislocated? Have you guys ever dislocated something? Your body does go into shock, and you sort of feel high, and then you want to throw up. So maybe it was sort of like he was like, "Oh, I don't know where I am."
He's like,
'Cause that's
yeah, he was. I mean, it looked like he was like on the most fun roller coaster of his life. And I'm like,
Yeah.
sir, you're being rushed to a hospital. He's a kook. He's lost it.
I don't know
mean-
where I am. It's like him or Tua. Both of them probably don't know the answer to that.
Whoa! Him and Tua
Now-
both are pretending they're on a roller coaster at all times.
So, the combined record of both teams was 0-6 going into Monday Night Football, and I just was like, I don't know. I know that there were 2 games, but it's like this doesn't feel like this is a good matchup for the. Like, I'm not boycotting the NFL because of Bad Bunny. I am boycotting the NFL if they keep putting Dolphins Jets as a primetime game.
Yeah, like what are we doing? Who set this? When you set the schedule, you had to have known going into this. By the way, I know that they won against the Jets, but how long do we think Mike McCarthy has left?
Mike McDaniel.
That's the one.
But it is funny.
Might
There's
check
there's more
round 2.
there's more Mike mix than there is black head coaches.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, I don't know. I don't. I'm wondering who's going to go first, Mike McDaniel or Zach Taylor, the Bengals coach. Like that guy. They're both.
Because Brian Dable's holding on for dear life now.
I know. I honestly think Tyreek is such a cancer and such a toxic human being that like they're probably going to be exactly the same, if not a little better without him. I think you're like walking on eggshells around him, and he's not the type of guy that's going to be like in a cast on the sideline coaching people up. So it's just like, oh, okay, the craziest person who was also throwing tantrums week 1 is now gone from the situation. Maybe let's try and like coalesce around each other and see if we can do something, because the division is not good. Like the Bills are good and then everyone else is like fine. It's like you should be able to steal some games in that division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've got an easy-ish
point.
schedule coming up. They play the Browns. I mean, the Chargers, they'll lose. They play the Falcons, and then they play the Ravens. So we shall see. Any other games that stood out to you guys this weekend? I do want to point out that Baker and the Bucks almost came back with the Eagles.
I picked them to
A lot of
win
people
that
were
game and I
talking
was
shit.
wrong, but yeah, that was a great game. The Eagles in the second half. I don't know what I mean. I feel the same way this year that I felt about the Eagles last year. Like, so what do I know? Like when Drew Brees is calling your offense boring, I'm like, whew, that is pot calling kettle black. You know what I mean? Like, that is wild. I think to me the game that stood out the most, besides my Falcons, who had a really great win and we looked a lot better this week and spread the ball around. We're still in really boring formations and predictable, but if you know the ball is going to be run and you still can't stop the run, then that's a good thing. The game to me that was the best of the weekend was probably Rams Colts, and I know it did not have the ending that Megan wanted, but like the Rams are a really good team, and they should have beaten the Eagles if it weren't for that blocked field goal, right? And then here, they almost lost to the Colts if it weren't for Adonai Mitchell, you know, and then an incredible catch by Tutu Atwell, who just outran everybody. But like, it was such a hard fought game, and like, I don't like that people are like, well, here come the Colts, same old Colt. I'm like, no. The Colts lost to a really good team, and that game could have gone either way. So I don't look at that as something negative. I think there are so many positives in this game. I think the Rams are really, really good, and so are the Colts. Sorry, Megan.
The damn quarterback had to put an epidural in his back to play. I hope that doesn't wear off. Do we know anything about that? Matt Stafford getting an epidural in his back?
What?
Yes, you didn't know about this?
A lot of back problems, yeah.
That's why people are saying that that the Rams are so good this year, is because Matthew Stafford's juiced up.
When you get an epidural, your legs don't work. Okay, so here's the thing. I'll take it beat by beat. Tutu Atwell, great. You know, when you see it, you go, how is he that open? Well, he was that open because the defender tripped on his own feet, and we only had 10 men on the field. We forgot to send an 11th defensive person onto the field. So it's like Tutu Atwell shouldn't have had that touchdown. You know, like, yes, great catch given the fact that they got to have an extra player because we're incompetent. Add to it, the goal line. I'm honestly, is it Adonai? It's a cute name, actually. I really do like the name. All I am hearing about him is that he is the nicest, most hardworking, best locker room guy, which only makes me more sad because it's like, I don't want to be mad at you. This has happened before to this team. Jonathan Taylor, who's a fucking MVP candidate right now, did this last year, and it cost us a playoff spot. And Sykin has said, we talk about this a lot. You know, like if this is a team that this has happened before, I'm sure it's top of mind. And he's like, I got to do a better job reminding them to secure the ball. You could make the argument that he was stretching out because he thought he was going to step out of bounds. When I saw him interviewed afterwards, he's devastated. I mean, he's like 22 years old. And then he went in and started the meeting. He was the first person to speak at practice, apologize to the team. I mean, it is tough. You can almost never point to a single thing and go, well, they would have won the game if that. So that happened. And then he had a bonkers, bananas, awful holding call on a Jonathan Taylor touchdown that got called back. And it's like, baby boy, I love you, but like, what the fuck are you doing? That's 14 points on you alone. Then add to the fact that we had the highest penalties we've had so far, and that on a touchdown play, we forgot to send an 11th man on the field. So we beat ourselves. The Rams didn't even beat us. We beat ourselves.
That's a good point. You beat yourselves, so stop doing that, and then you're going to get back on track. I'm really excited about the Colts.
We play the Raiders. We play the Raiders this weekend.
Great.
Fixable things.
Yeah.
These are all things that are easy to fix. And by the way, the reason he fumbled that ball is because it wasn't secure in the first place. When he broke away from the defender,
which was incredible.
Moving the ball from his it wasn't secure. He was moving it from his left hand to his right, and in that transfer process, as he was reaching it out, he just like reached his hand forward before he had fully put the ball in.
It got loosey goosey. So it was not a showboat. No, it was not a celebration.
Just being like, look at me.
No.
And that is also a plus. So like, these are things that, you know, it's your first loss of the season. These are really great things to grow from.
Yeah, you guys
and
are
these
good
are
this year.
tiny fixes. You know, this is not a complete rewrite. These are just like, hey, we just need to do a little spell check, and then this script is good to go.
What worries me is I think about that Hail Mary against the Bears last year, and it's like, season over. You know, like sometimes there are things that are so demoralizing. Now, you know,
it's early days.
I will say I thought Jackson Dart was impressive in the Giants win. I don't think we ever see Russell Wilson ever again.
No, I don't think so either. I think he needs to retire. I think he needs to just call it. I think he needs to
mega church preacher. And I think the Cowboys and Packers tying is so funny. I don't know what, like, funny.
I was gonna say they're the two teams that I'm kind of like the most intrigued about right now, because there were some plays that Dak looked so good. Some of his throws, I was like, holy fucking shit, let's go Cowboys. And then it's like, what is going on with the Packers? Like, a lot of people had them in their Super Bowl pick to win. And now it's like, oh, this is interesting.
I will say they did not look, I mean, everyone was like, oh, Jordan Love had so many, that's a really high scoring game. But I was like, there were a lot of times when he just completely missed the receiver on on certain balls. So I'm not as confident in him as I was leading into the season. So I am a little bit more worried about the Packers than I was at the beginning of the year.
Let's move on to some playoff baseball. I got my Jays shirt on today, baby. Sarah, can you kind of give us a rundown, a little peek into what playoff baseball, what October is going to look like for us?
So good thing that you do have your Blue Jays shirt on, because the Blue Jays have a bye. They are by far one of the best teams in the second half. I think one of the best, if not the best record in baseball. So the Blue Jays, the Mariners, the Phillies, and the Brewers all have a bye. And so right now in these five games series or wild card series, so it would be 3-game series. You're going to have Cubs Padres are matching up, so that's pretty interesting matchup. I don't think either one of those teams is going to the World Series, but all you have to do in October is get hot at the right time. It doesn't matter how you played all year. It's just about who gets hot when.
Is the Cubs, they have like a rookie pitching sensation, but he's hurt? I think he got hurt. I think he broke the rib having a coughing fit. And I just want to say that's really relatable.
Broke the rib?
I think that's really relatable. Wait, okay. So when you're about to say the Dodgers and Reds are playing, and I was like, oh, cool. Cincinnati is so close to Indianapolis. They play all 3 games in LA.
Yeah, so
what the heck?
That's the way that this new wild card round is. They don't travel. So in the expansion era, during the wild card round, whoever had the best record plays all 3 home games or 2.
That's weird.
Yeah. Because it's also like Yankees, Red Sox. So then, like a bunch of them are upset. But yeah, the Reds are going to be out here in LA. The Reds are a really incredible team. They kind of surged at the right time. It was down to them and the Mets in the very last game of the season. So if the Mets had won and the Reds had lost, the Mets would have gone in. If both teams won their last game of the season, the Reds would have gone in because the Reds had the tiebreaker. But both of them lost their last games. So the Reds, again, had the same thing as both winning. So they win the tiebreaker.
I do feel like this season, the playoff teams this season it's so fun because you've got a bunch of guys that are going to be new to this. Like, we haven't seen the Marlins, the Blue Jays, the Brewers. Like, there are so many teams. It's not like
the Mariners,
same old.
You mean
the Mariners? Thank you. See, I don't even get their name right because they're never around. But I think that that's what makes these playoffs so fun, is that we got a lot of like fresh meat and like a lot of fans that don't get to have this experience all the time.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, you answer.
This Reds-Dodgers series is going to be really interesting because the Dodgers have really slumped in the second half. They've had a lot of injuries in pitching, but even their bullpen has given up extra inning wins, 9th inning wins. Remember, the Dodgers have had 2 instances this year where they've had no hitters going into the 9th inning, and then lost it with 2 outs in the 9th. Still lost the game, even after pitching 9 no-hit innings. So their bullpen has been given up quite a bit of runs, and Shohei is pitching again, so we're going to probably see him pitch in the playoffs, I'm guessing. It's definitely looking that way. The Reds have Elly De La Cruz, but they've had to just kind of – it's because they have Terry Francona Tito, who's their new manager. So they've really had a nice little resurgence with him. And they're kind of that Arizona Diamondbacks team kind of thing, where it's just like they're just like nobody's thinking about them, nobody cares about them, and they could take out the Dodgers and the Phillies and then go to the World Series. Like it could be
Ooh,
wild.
that's fun.
That's definitely what I'm hoping for.
No, boo.
For the
Can the
National League,
Dodgers send Kershaw or a starting pitcher into the bullpen just to try and like regulate it?
for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't think
Dave.
Kershaw. I don't think Kershaw is going to be starting a game.
Okay.
I wouldn't let him if I was
Amazing.
Dave Roberts, but I
Okay.
think he could pitch an inning of good relief for sure.
Okay, great.
I'm over it. I'm over the Dodgers. Somebody else. We need fresh
Yeah,
meat.
we're
We
all
need
snooze,
fresh meat. Let's
snooze.
go.
I think
Snooze-a-palooza.
I think this year the team most destined to win might be the Milwaukee Brewers.
So fun.
They've had one of the best records in baseball, but if you remember, their legendary commentator Bob Uecker passed away at the beginning of this year, and as we know, whenever someone who's been a part of your organization for 50 plus years passes away, you win a World Series. Vin Scully, the Dodgers won after Vin Scully died. The Braves won after Hank Aaron died. The Astros won the next year because Hank Aaron's best friend was the manager for the Astros, Dusty Baker. So it's like there's kind of like this, it's like what we keep talking about with the Colts with Jim Irsay passing away. It's like I feel like there's this extra little push that you get from the universe when you have that kind of good karma giving you a little.
You got to
extra
have a
lift.
death to win.
It's
I've
real
always said
angels
that.
in the outfield.
You got to have a sick kid and a death to be able to. Okay, Red Sox, Yankees. Now, obviously, exciting for them to meet. For it to be in like the wild card is like a little anticlimactic. Are they going to kill each other?
Oh.
Are they going to kill each other? That's a
The
good
fans.
question. Oh, the fans.
Oh, the fans.
I don't even
Hope so.
feel like it's like it's not the same rivalry that it used to be. But yeah, I kind of hope so. Like that will make things way more interesting. As we know, Yankees fans last year. I mean, those Yankees fans got kicked out for trying to rip Mookie Betts' hand off in his glove, and then Red Sox fans are notoriously not great. Super racist. So, that's not all of them. That's just there have been some very public instances. The good thing about the Red Sox is they have Garrett Crochet as their starter, and I think he gets the ball today. He's probably a Cy Young candidate for the American League, so he's definitely one to watch. It's like him, Tark Skubal, who's for the Tigers. So Red Sox Yankees is going to be a really good matchup. Whoever wins that will play Toronto. Then you have Tigers Guardians. The Tigers have completely imploded in the last month. They were way ahead in the division, and then the Guardians ended up getting and winning their division. The Guardians were sellers at the deadline. They were selling players at the deadline. They had basically just said like, hey, we're not going to win it this year. And then here they are in the wild card, completely incredible team. They lost the best closer in baseball, Clase. He was caught sports gambling, so he got suspended. So they've been doing all of this without arguably one of the best players in baseball in the hands of Jose Ramirez, J-Ram, who's like one of their best players. So it's going to be a really interesting series. And then the winner of Detroit and Cleveland will play the Mariners. The Mariners, as you know, probably have the American League MVP, who is Cal Raleigh. His nickname's the Big Dumper. So
Big Dumper.
Yeah, he hit 60 home runs this year. He's the first catcher, switch hitting catcher to ever hit that many home runs. So he's broken all kinds of records this year. So the Mariners are definitely another team to look out for.
October has arrived. We are so excited. Okay, before we go, who is our sports bitch of the week?
I have decided sports bitch is Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve, who has been fined by the WNBA and suspended for a game next year because the Minnesota Lynx are now out of the playoffs for calling out what she sees is awful officiating by WNBA refs. And she's right. So right that Fever head coach Stephanie White has backed her up. Becky Hammon of the Aces has backed her up. So the Lynx are out of it. The Phoenix, what is their name?
Mercury.
Phoenix Mercury make up one half of the finals. And then as you are listening to this on Wednesday, we will have either the Aces or the Fever. The fact that the Fever have even gotten to this point with every single person being injured on the team, minus like Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, everyone else is hurt, is absolutely incredible. But we stand behind all of our WNBA divas, and we
Yeah.
demand better officiating.
God forbid a woman has a little passion. Come
She
on.
came into the rescue for Nafisa Collier, who got
Yep.
injured on the last play, and it wasn't called. And then she comes in and, has her players back, touches a ref. The ref, they, fine her, suspend her for game 4. The Lynx end up losing game 4 because they don't have their coach and they don't have the MVP. So it's very frustrating to see the Lynx go out the way that they did. Especially after, they really wanted revenge this year because they lost to the Liberty last year. So I'm definitely hoping it's Mercury versus Fever just so we can see the head-to-head matchup with DeWanna Bonner versus the Fever. I think that could make for a lot of fun content.
Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. All right, guys, that is our episode. We will be back next week. All the gals together again. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye, bitches.